She sat in silence. Her eyes looking slightly down, hands gently folded in her lap. The kind of silence that isn't awkward, but heavy. Emotional. As if words had waited for too long, and now, they were trembling on the edge of her lips. And then, with a quiet voice and eyes filled with something between pain and honesty, she said, "Yes. I still love him." Those 6 words were enough to shake the hearts of millions. Demet Özdemir, Turkey's beloved actress, wasn't playing a role this time. She wasn't reading a script. There were no cameras capturing a fictional scene. This was real. This was truth. And to truly understand the weight of that confession, we must go back. Back to a time when she and he were not just co-stars, but something more. Back to her Kensi Kuss. The year was 2018. And Turkish television was about to witness something unforgettable. A show that would not only break rating records, but would birth one of the most talked about on-screen couples in recent memory. Demet Özdemir and Yaman. They played Saddam and Can. 2 people drawn together by fate, by love, by an energy that could not be explained. The chemistry was electric. But what truly took everyone by surprise was that the spark didn't feel fictional. It felt real. Unfiltered. Pure. Behind the scenes, whispers grew. Were they just acting? Or was there something more? Fans around the world began connecting the dots. The glances during interviews. The small touches. The way their eyes lingered on each other, just a second too long. Rumors exploded. They're dating in real life. They're keeping it secret. They're the real Saddam and Can. And maybe, they were. Though neither confirmed anything at the time, the love story that started on screen seemed to spill into their real lives. They traveled together. Smiled like they were the only 2 people in the room. And shared moments that paparazzi caught, even when they tried to hide. It was beautiful. And it was fragile. Because when a love is born under the lights of fame, when millions are watching, it doesn't grow in peace. It grows under pressure. Under headlines. Under expectation. And eventually, it broke. They never made an official statement. There were no messy breakups. No accusations. Just distance. Yaman left for Italy. A new beginning. A new market. A new life. He started speaking Italian, starring in international productions, and charming a whole new audience. Demet stayed in Turkey. She took on serious roles. She evolved. From bubbly romantic heroine to dramatic lead actress. She became an icon of Turkish drama. But something in her smile changed. Years passed. Life moved forward. And then, Demet got married. It was beautiful. Elegant. A perfect wedding by all appearances. But some fans noticed something odd. She didn't seem truly happy. Her glow wasn't the same. Her laughter, while still bright, seemed to echo off invisible walls. And within a year, it was over. Her marriage ended quietly. Respectfully. But it ended. And then came the interview. This wasn't a press tour. She wasn't promoting a show. She wasn't dressed in designer clothes or surrounded by a marketing team. It was raw. Personal. Just Demet and her truth. She spoke about her journey. The weight of fame. The struggle of always smiling for the camera even when your heart is broken. And then came the question. Is there someone you still love? Her pause said everything. And then. Yes. I still love him. The room froze. Fans around the world gasped. Could she really be talking about Yaman? She never said his name. But she didn't have to. Everyone knew. She went on. I think some people leave marks on your soul. Not wounds. Just marks. And even if you move on, even if your life changes, you carry those marks forever. They shape you. She looked away for a moment. I don't know if it was timing, or pressure, or life. But what we had, it was real. And real love. It doesn't vanish. The internet exploded. Hashtag Demet still loves Ken was trending globally within minutes. Fans began sharing old clips, photos, behind-the-scenes moments from her Kenzie cuss. Edits. Tributes. Videos with soft piano music and slow transitions. Nostalgia washed over the internet like a wave. But this time, it wasn't just about shipping. It was about healing. Demet's honesty was rare. In a world where celebrities protect their image like armor, she had taken hers off. She had spoken from the heart. And maybe, she wasn't the only one still holding on. Rumors say Kenyaman saw the interview. That he was moved. That he reached out. Some insiders claim they've been messaging again. Quietly. Carefully. Others say there's a new project in development, an international romance drama, and producers are pushing to reunite them on screen. Imagine that. Sanam and Ken reunited. Not just in fiction, but with years of real emotion behind their eyes. And maybe, just maybe, a second chance. But even if that never happens, what Demet gave us was enough. She reminded us that love doesn't always have to end in fireworks. Sometimes, it just stays. Like a soft melody you hear when the world is quiet. Like the scent of a memory you can't forget. Like a name you whisper to yourself when no one's around. Yes. I still love him. Not for attention. Not for drama. Just because it's true. So here's to the stories that didn't get their happy ending. To the loves that burned bright, and then went silent. To the moments that slipped through our fingers before we even knew how much they mattered. To the people who touched our hearts so deeply, we still feel them in our quietest hours. Not in conversations. Not in photos. But in the way a song suddenly hurts. In the way a place can feel like a memory. In the way your heart still whispers their name when you least expect it. Here's to the goodbyes that were never fully spoken. To the messages never sent. To the longing that never quite leaves. To the late night thoughts and early morning aches. To the what ifs we carry like old letters, tucked away, but never thrown out. And to Demet Özdemir. Not just for her beauty or her talent. But for her courage to speak what so many are too afraid to say. That love, true love, doesn't always follow the rules. It doesn't always end when it should. It lingers. It haunts. It waits. Maybe for a second chance. Maybe just to be remembered. Maybe for a lifetime, in silence. But always, always, it stays alive. Not in the world outside, but in the most sacred place we own. The heart. Yes. I still love him. She said it with no agenda. No demand. Just truth. And maybe, just maybe, he still loves her too. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't the ones that end with a kiss, but the ones that never end at all.